Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're going to be counting down our picks for the most painful below-the-belt shots in anime. Number 20, right in the Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z Super Android 13. Over the years, Goku's fought all kinds of villains, including space tyrants, multiversal threats, literal gods, and more, but none of them have hurt him quite as bad as Android 13. During their scuffle, a poorly timed attack leaves Goku's valuables wide open, and the Fiend doesn't waste the opportunity. To put it lightly, Goku won't be summoning Shenron with these balls anytime soon. In fact, the blow hurt so bad, it knocked him completely out of Super Saiyan. After a wound like that, it's just amazing Goku was able to have a second kid at all.
Help me.
Number 19, cut above or below the rest. Sword Art Online alternative Gale Online. This may be an online virtual reality game, but Len isn't here to play around. No, she's willing to do anything to lead her team to victory, even if it means going for the unmentionables.
SJ の優勝者の実力、ちょっと見せてくれ。
All's fair, right? It feels especially mean-spirited because Len had a gun right there, and she clearly knew how to use it. But instead of taking the merciful route, she decided to slide right underneath her final opponent, bringing a knife with her. His pained reaction says it all. Video game or not, that's a lethal blow. Number 18, Cutting Edge Service. Black Lagoon, Roberta's Blood Trail. Don't let the getup fool ya. Fabiola is no ordinary maid. Sadly for this bar thug, he realizes that a moment too late, and it ends up costing him his pride, his reputation, and his manhood.
This kid is heavy, real heavy.
He only lowers his guard for a second, but that's all Fabiola needs to reveal the sharp blade in the heel of her boot. And then she kicks hard, right in his nether region. Just the thought of it is enough to make anyone squirm, especially taking into account the pool of blood her handiwork leaves behind. Clearly, they don't call this season Blood Trail for nothing.
Now you've drawn your weapons. I was hoping to avoid this.
Number 17, Samurai Sack Splitter, Rurouni Kenshin.
今度はそうはいかん。来い。
Yahiko trained long and hard for the moment he would finally be strong enough to protect those he cared about. And now, after all that work, he's officially ready to unveil his special technique. There's no need to mince words, it's a crotch shot, plain and simple. Such a low blow isn't exactly befitting of an honorable swordsman, but it gets the job done either way. Yahiko really knows how to end a fight, that's all we're saying. After all, something tells us the evil Gohei won't be bothering anyone ever again. At least not if he values his privates.
名人弥彦師範作肩透かし金的斬り。
Number 16, Spread Your Legs and Fly. The Rising of the Shield Hero. After this, Motoyasu probably wishes he were the shield hero, or at least one that comes with some armor.
だっせー。ドラゴンじゃなくて鳥だし。
Then again, it's hard to say if anything would have protected him from Philo's wrath. Fed up with Motoyasu's insults, the bird monster took it upon herself to kick the spear hero right in his personal spear.
こんなので俺のドラゴンと勝負しようだなんて。
This was not a warning shot either. No, the force of it sent Motoyasu flying through the air to infinity and beyond. His team calls for a healer, but there is no magic in the entire world capable of mending this.
大体にしてこのデブ。交換大丈夫か？
ナフミ様。
とにかく首を洗って待ってろよ。
Number 15, Drop Like a Stone. Dr. Stone. In this semi-final match of the Grand Bout, Gen's conniving gives Chrome a free 60-second reprieve. But Chrome doesn't need that long to beat Magma. Actually, he only needs one hit. Since Magma was on fire, Chrome generously decided to give him a little nudge towards the water. Although, given the placement, Magma will probably be feeling this nudge for days to come, arguably more so than the actual burns. Still, Chrome's quick thinking might have saved Magma's life. His cojones though, those are a different story, one with a much less happy ending. Number 14, 2 in 1, One Piece. Just because you can split yourself in two doesn't necessarily mean you should. Buggy had to learn that lesson the hard way. When he set his torso after Nami, all he did was leave his lower half, including his junk, wide open for a counterattack. And unfortunately for the clown, Luffy's never been one to pass up an easy win. Every part of Buggy feels the pain of Luffy's pelvic punch. As a result, it doesn't just save Nami, it turns the villain into a blubbering mess. Later, Luffy claims he's Buggy's real opponent, but from where we're standing, this fight is already over. Number 13, Climb Kick Succulents, Overlord. All things considered, this mission is pretty straightforward. Infiltrate the base, find Succulent, and take him into custody.
サキュロンと後ろのザコ2人を殺せ。それぐらいはできるな。もちろんだ、ボス。
But ever the show-off, Climb decided to have a little bit of fun first. He charges the 8-finger leader with his uber-powerful ability release. But that's just a decoy. Once he's made the opening, Climb finishes this scuffle with a critical hit to the nads. If Succulent's reaction doesn't make you wince, the bone-crushing sound effects definitely will. The villain had to be captured alive, but considering what he just went through, that's more of a punishment than a mercy.
サキュロンとめ。
Number 12, Ichigo goes hollow between the legs. Bleach. While we're not saying that Ichigo couldn't do with some improvement when it comes to speaking to the ladies in his life, this particular lesson in etiquette was way more painful than it had to be, mostly due to Nell landing a point-blank blow straight to the family jewels.
気にすんな。思ったほどじゃねえよ。
While berating him for not discussing Orihime's weight with more subtlety, the Arrancar's lesson is slightly dampened due to the fact that Ichigo probably spent the whole conversation focused on how his personal Zanpakuto might now have a dent in it. Number 11, Zatch gets it in the bells. Zatch Bell. Just goes to show that even a pint-sized Mamoru of unbelievable power like Zatch isn't that different from us regular folk. And by that we mean a solid kick to the balls still leaves him in absolute agony. However, in this instance, the pain of getting his magical beads shattered courtesy of Brago just about saved his life. If not for that timely intervention, Zatch could have been skewered by Maestro. Thankfully, his frenemy was there to block the attack with his foot, which just happened to be on an upward trajectory that coincided with Golden Gash's bells. Ding ding. Number 10, Gin loses his Tama. Gintama. Only in this show could you have a tag team wrestling match that results in our hero desperately trying to magically reattach his balls. Never change, oh sweet silver soul. Taking on love rival Doman, for the most part Gintoki looks all set to win his fight by a landslide, only to accidentally fall into Getomaru's massive spiked club. As a result, his chance at having a family are left rolling all over the ring, which leads the way to Doman and Seimei engaging in a mystical showdown where they repeatedly use Gintoki's pride and joy.
生命選手ドーマン選手タマの玉座を巡って壮絶な銀力比べを繰り広げている
This one hurts to watch.
誰か奴らの喧嘩を止めてくれ
Number 9. Sagur grinds some nut powder. Full Metal Panic for Mofu. For those of you that looked at the original military action series and thought, give me more of that sweet high school romantic comedy, welcome to Nirvana. Not only is this a hilarious addition to FMP's content catalog, but also has this delightful scene. Ever wonder how someone like Sagura would best a karate master? Simple. Toss a grenade at him, knock him down to the floor, and repeatedly blast his yam bag until it's nothing but dust. Number 8. Lucy's Great Escape. Fairy Tale. There's no better tactic for escaping imprisonment than nailing the jailer in his nutmegs and making a clean getaway. In this instance, Lucy had to try a lot harder than most, given how she was being held captive by none other than Phantom Lord's leader, Jose, though the results still ended up turning out the same.
てか、トイレ行きたいんだけど。
おやおや、これはまた随分古典的な手法ですね。
Using the old I gotta pee trope, Lucy managed to outwit the creepy geezer by agreeing to do it in a bucket.
バケツか。
The moment he turned around, wham! Who needs magic when you've got leg day? Number 7, My Hero Clackademia. My Hero Academia. Deku may be used to breaking bones thanks to the force of his own quirk, but this might be the most devastating injury yet, a potent strike to the scrotum, courtesy of a brat with issues named Koda.
よろしくね。
While the two would later reconcile down the line, there's no getting away from just how devastating this initial encounter was.
なぜ緑谷くんの陰謀
ヒーローになりたいなんて連中とつるむ気はねえよ。
Do you have anything left to say, young man? Just be thankful that Uraraka didn't send you hurtling into space for hurting a future hubby. Number 6, grabbing Frankie by the nuts and bolts. One Piece. Well, we can think of worse ways to convince a guy to join a pirate crew.
手荒でよければ手を貸しましょうか。
After the events of Eni's lobby, Frankie is left with no choice but to join the Straw Hats on their whirlwind adventures now that he's got a bounty. Of course, it wasn't easy to win him over, though thankfully Robin had the obvious solution. Use her devil fruit to create a pair of hands that hold his robo-balls in a vice grip until he submits.
フラップ。
This probably looked a lot more different in Frankie's head when he imagined Miss Sunday getting a handful of his processing power.
おいロビン、男のまま仲間にしたいんだよ。取んなよ。
Number 5, Hoka Gonads Destroyed. Naruto Shippuden. Jeez. Where was this kid when the 4th Great Ninja War was going down? He straight up crunched Naruto's fox cubs in a single devastating punch before waltzing away without a care. While the agony of getting his little friend smashed to pieces is quite palpable, at least Naruto can now take some solace in the fact that, yet again, this was only filler. Because if it wasn't, then it's likely Boruto would never have existed. Number 4, Erectile Dukakis gets castrated. Ixion Saga DT. A spiked boot right to the meat kiwis? No one deserves to go down that road, not even a pompous jerk like this guy. Unfortunately for the leader of Incognito, his injury was so severe that a doctor ended up having to surgically remove them for his own safety.
誠に残念ですが、片玉全摘です。
Whether you feel immense sympathy for a wreck pile over here, or can't get enough of watching Kon hit his crackers on loop, it can't be denied that he had been set up for failure since birth. Yeah, his name is a reference to ED. Way to fulfill your destiny, man. Number 3. Pickle Ball. Baki Hanma. No matter who he goes up against, Baki knows that every man has a weakness between the legs, and unlike some other fighters, he's willing to exploit that for all it's worth. Keep in mind, Baki's blows are strong enough to crack stone, and Pickle is only wearing a loincloth. So the question isn't whether this crotch shot hurts, it's how the hell Pickle's still conscious at all. He's never been one to quit, but seriously, no one should have to live through a hit like that. Evidently, the onlookers are right when they say that low blows always work. Number 2. Nut Punch Man. One Punch Man. Not exactly the most heroic way to take down an enemy, but then again, if Sonic was as good of a ninja as he said he was, then maybe he could have found a way to not land crotch first into the fist of the world's strongest man. Thinking Saitama to be easy prey, the villainous shinobi sought to cut him to pieces with his superior speed, only to find himself unceremoniously colliding with what is arguably the deadliest weapon in all of anime.
Checkmate.
All we can say is RIP Sonic Stones. There is no coming back from that.
Saitama! 次に会った時がお前の最後だ!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Denji the Dong Devil. Chainsaw Man. Denji doesn't take too kindly to being shrugged off, so the moment Aki smugly turns his back, the Chainsaw Devil gets even with an earth-shattering kick to the groin. For what it's worth, Aki stays on his feet long enough to throw a few blows himself, but not even he can withstand round 2 from Denji's nutcracker technique.
てめえもマキマさんが好きなだけじゃねえか!
Aki falls to his knees and then passes out entirely. We can't blame him. Obviously, Denji knew what he was doing, and that made for a scene that's genuinely painful to sit through. Quite frankly, it may have cost Aki his chance of being a father.
先輩が金玉の悪魔に玉を襲われました。
嘘です。こいつの嘘です。
Which crotch shot had you turning away from the screen? Let us know if it made our list in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.